I'm dancing, and all that jazz. Hey there, guys, what's going on? I'm Shane from Yu-Gi-Oh! Masters, and today we're going to be looking at a new thing that I think is going to be a trend in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, firstly, I'm sure you can see by the title, we're going to be talking about mirror forces. We got dark mirror forces, we got normal mirror forces, we got quaking mirror forces, we got watery mirror forces, we got some terrible mirror force that nobody uses. It's called radiant mirror force. But yeah, this aside, I'm just going to be speaking about how I feel the game's going to be going in terms of what's been coming out in the recent sets and what came before it, let's say, and let's talk about that from. So let's have a look at Traptrix Memello. This card came out a couple of years ago and originally trap holes. So we originally started with, and we're going to have a look at it right now, trap hole. We started off with Trap Hole. I'm fairly sure Trap Hole was a Legend of Blue Eyes card. It came out then, and it was a long time until they released another one. And I could be wrong, but I'm almost 100% the next one was from Legacy of Darkness, and it was Bottomless Trap Hole. And from here on, there still weren't many Trap Holes that came out. Oh, also, Acid Trap Hole was also a game promo. It was from, oh dear God, what was this from? Oh, really? What? I really should remember what that's from. Forbidden Memories? No, I don't think so. Either way, Acid Trap Hole was one, but it's not really a Trap Hole. It doesn't meet what Trap Holes usually do. It's usually a summon and it kills them. But either way, the first proper two were Trap Hole and Bottomless, and from there was no other bomb. There was no other trap holes for a long time, and they came out sparingly and stuff. And then for let's say, then came along a time where we got Trap Hole Nightmare, we got Time Space Trap Hole, we got Treacherous Trap Hole, we got Void Trap Hole, we got this piece of crap, we got Deep Dark Trap Hole. We got a lot of trap holes in a very short amount of time relative to the time we had from Trap Hole, Bottomless Trap Hole, and other trap holes coming out. And then, after we got all of those, we got Traptrix Memello, which is a searcher for trap holes. And it became a part of one of the biggest decks around at the time, which was Hat. And it was really good. It was really strong. And in its own right, Traptrix Memello is still a really strong card. It's just a much slower card than people are used to using right now. Not saying it's bad, it's just slower. And a lot of decks do not lend themselves to that. So I'm talking about this because, and I'm sure you will have figured this out by now, I personally feel that the reason that they are releasing so many Mirror Forces so long after Mirror Force, I mean, Mirror Force was a Metal Raiders card, it came out in 2002-ish, 2001, something like that. The next Mirror Force to come out was Dark Mirror Force, and Dark Mirror Force was from, I'm fairly sure, Invasion of Chaos or Dark Cross. No, it was Invasion of Chaos. It was Invasion of Chaos. Or Ancient Sanctuary. No, it was Invasion of Chaos. I'm almost 1,000,000% on that. Almost 1,000,000%, guys. And from Dark Mirror Force, the next one we had was Radiant Mirror Force, which I think was a Shadow of Infinity card. And it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It's just Mirror Force, but bad. This is basically a joke Mirror Force. Basically, this Radiant Mirror Force was around because Mirror Force was banned, and they needed to, like, you know when they bring out cards that just much worse cards like Fishborg Archer and stuff like that, when they ban a card and they're like, okay, let's bring out a watered down version, it's always terrible. I don't think there's ever been a card like that that's been good. They brought out Radiant Mirror Force because Mirror Force was banned back then. Anything that gave you a +1 basically was banned. Dark Hole was banned, Mirror Force was banned. Torrential was at 1, I think. But yeah, stuff like that. You know, Torrential was a power card, and now it's kind of not. Radiant Mirror Force, terrible. So we're not even going to count that into the equation. That was. Let's not even do that. So Mirror Force and Dark Mirror Force came out, and there was a couple of 3 or maybe 4 years. No, it'll be 3 years between Mirror Force and Dark Mirror Force coming out, and then we've got so many years between. The next one was Storming Mirror Force, then Blazing, then Quaking, and next is going to be Rippling. Now, it's a trend. You get a bunch of trap holes come out, you get a Traptrix Memello. It looks like we're going to get a Mirror Force Archtype coming out. And I love it. I really like these. As they've been going, I think the weakest of them all is Blazing Mirror Force right now. The reason being, performance damage juggler exists. That's a problem, because it completely stops Blazing Mirror Force. And Blazing Mirror Force, let's be honest, on its own is okay. It's an okay card. It's not fantastic. But the fact that everyone's running 3 of a card that completely negates it during your opponent's turn and all that jazz for free, and they get something off it. I hate when a card accidentally is good against everything. It's happened loads of times in the past. But it is like Damage Juggler. Damage Juggler's kind of always been there for, your opponent attacks you directly. And you drop the Damage Juggler and then you get an effect. Or you do silly things with it like that. Damage Juggler accidentally kills Blazing Mirror Force. It never intended to stop Blazing Mirror Force or Wavering Eyes. It didn't intend for that. It just accidentally happened. They're like, oh, this actually has an effect that stops it. Okay, let's do that. I hate that. It's actually really bad for the game. It's really, really bad. Because everyone does a really cool deck and it's like, oh yeah, I've got an idea for this. I'm going to do this. Like, I wanted to do Blazing Volcanics. That's Blazing Mirror Forces with Volcanics, and it burns you down slowly. But when you drop a Scattershot to the graveyard, they can just discard Damage Juggler, stop the entire play. And it's just like, that wasn't intended to do that. They didn't put that in the deck thinking, I'm going to stop this burn. This burn is going to be stopped right now. No, they put it in the deck because it's a very strong card. They get the searches, all that jazz. And it's Perform Age. It's just like, why are you accidentally so good? This is why it is not very, very, it is a little bit banned in the old Japanese meta. So, I guess that's my little rant on these, and we're going to have a look through a little bit more on the Mirror Forces. And you know what? Let's rate them. So, the worst one is Radiant Mirror Force. It is terrible. He goes to the back of the line. Dark Mirror Force is really weird. When opponent's monster declares an attack, banish all defense position monster your opponent controls. I'll tell you what, some people do just, when they go Pendulum and they want to exceed, they'll just bring them out in defense. And they'll attack with the ones they want to attack with. You can Dark Mirror Force them, like, no! However, good a move that is, still very unlikely. And usually with Mirror Forces, you kind of want to stop an attack, and this doesn't stop no attack. It's not good. Although those super heavy samurais are going to have a problem with you. So Dark Mirror Force will... Okay, let's put it there. This is... I'd say Blazing Mirror Force is the third worst because of the counters it has right now. Plus, it does damage to yourself, so it's not always available. I'm going to go and say Stormy Mirror Force is probably the 4th worst or the 4th best or something like that. It's okay. I remember when people were playing it against Cosmo and I found a way around it. You just bring out Dark Destroying Defense and kill itself. Did that in a regional. Won the regional. Yeah. Storm Mirror Force is okay, I guess. I don't know, it's a -1. Your opponent can just do things from there. They get it back to their hand, it's in their hand. Unless you're doing it to exceed a couple of exceeds or like a big field of exceeds, but most of the time they'll dire wolf your back card anyway. So it's hard to get the Mirror Force off onto a bunch of exceeds. And usually as well with exceeds, they're like, okay, I've got my effect already, I've done what I need to do. The attacks are just there because they're there. Like with Ignista, he'll have bounced a card, he'll have special summoned Luster Pendulum. It's just like, you'll get rid of it, but they've gotten so much off it and you've lost a card. The Storm Mirror Force feels really, really flat. I think next, I'm going to say Mirror Force. The original Mirror Force. I think mostly because it's like, it does what it says on the tin. It just, boom, it smashes them back with no bullshit. We've got no to the hand. They get advanced. Blazing Mirror Force, they can damage Juggler, or I have to take damage, so if I'm low on life, it's a completely useless card. Mirror Force is just strong. Now we're going to get to the really good ones. Holy crap. Quaking Mirror Force. Ooh, God, this is so good. God, when this came out, I traded my 2 off the other day, because I got Pendulum Source. No, I got Solemn Strike involved in the trade. But God, I want to get so many of these, it's unreal. When your opponent's monster attacks, change all face down defense position. They can't change battle position. If your opponent goes and Pendulum's 5 and attacks, just goes for the damage and then goes to exceed, they lose the game. They actually, I can't think of a way for them to get out of that. You could actually just end turn every turn. I'm trying to think, maybe they could monkey board one of them and tribute for it, but then you got 1,000 attack and you can't flip the rest. Seriously, it's so insane. I haven't seen it played much. I feel like people are going to start to side it. I feel like it's going to... also find its way into some rogue decks. But yeah, and this card, guys, the number one, it's in the OCG right now. Firstly, I'm gonna point out this only works with direct attacks. However, the fact that you shuffle all face attacks with your monsters your opponent controls into the deck is pretty fucking strong. That is a million times better than Mirror Force in terms of if they hit direct. Like a fucking million times, because God, I think sending to the deck is the safest thing you can ever do. Because there's sending to hand, they can use it again. Destroying, they get the effects. Banishing, they can do things with anyway. To the deck, I mean, it's hard to get things from the deck. So, yeah, I think this is my number one, even though they have to hit you direct. But then again, a lot of the times they will clear your field anyway. And they will get through to your life. So you'll at least be able to rippling them all back. And I feel like this card is so strong that it will... it'll be like the old days where people used to put things to defense, to, you know, before they attack because of Mirror Force. Because if you got hit by the Mirror Force, you lose. And yeah, I feel rippling will have people switching things to defense to get around it. And I love that. It means that you can bluff more. It means people just don't blindly attack and stuff. It's fantastic. So yeah, this has just been me talking about Mirror Forces and how I feel they're going to be, and we'll probably get a Trap Tricks version. I wonder if it's going to be like a mirror thing. It's going to have mirrors all over it. It's going to be a mirror night or something. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, we're probably going to get that, and Mirror Force is going to be much better. And yeah, so thanks for watching this. This has been Shane from Yu-Gi-Oh! Masters, and don't go in this way. See ya.